about a year after 50 Cent gets shot, he's in the studio, and Ja Rule and Irv Gotti, Black Child, possibly some other people, they run into him, and this big altercation happens. 50 gets cut, like in the arm or something like that. And essentially, everything, everyone walks away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, when I interviewed Tony Yayo for the first time, when I said, 50 Cent got stabbed, he's like, shut the fuck up, Vlad. You got a little scratch.
They had like motherfucking
50
crutches and shit.
50 got stabbed that day, right? He did get stabbed,
Vlad,
right?
shut the fuck up with that shit.
Okay. He got
the
cut.
motherfucker had a scratch.
He got cut a little.
You want to see what I got? You look on my finger right here. If you look on my finger, I got cut right there. Just look bad because it was sliced and meat was hanging. No homo.
That was from that night?
So look, that was from that night. And this right here. And on the knuckle right there. 50 had a scratch.
And there was always the kind of the story of 50 Cent having an order of protection after that incident.
Right.
But you said that's not actually true.
No, none of them cooperated. I looked into the incident and I wanted to make it one of the violent acts that had happened during the time period and see if we could, put it as part of a bigger case. And, those guys weren't cooperating. The one victim who was like the engineer in the studio, he's the one who wanted arrests made. He wanted to sue, and I think he did. And so when he went to the DA's office, they automatically attached like an order of protection against anybody involved who was a victim. And that's how that happened. And it's not like 50 Cent asked for an order of protection from, Chris Gotti or somebody. But if, and the Gottis have always thrown that out there, and it's all bullshit. And it's just Irv being Irv.
Okay. But even with all these incidents, 50 Cent ends up putting out more music, originally through mixtapes, right around 2002. Starts to get really hot.
Right.
Signs a deal with Shady Aftermath. Drops his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', and it becomes the biggest thing in music.
Well, before that, just to let you know, I talked to guys like Craig Kalman. Irv Gotti told him, if you sign 50, you're done. They did the same thing to Tommy Mottola. Tommy
over J-Lo, I think. I think 50 was supposed to get on a song with J-Lo, and I heard that Irv Gotti...
They made them switch it out or something.
Yeah, Irv Gotti said, like, yo, don't put 50 on the song. He might hurt her or something like that, so they ended up switching him out, yeah.
But there was also, though, a deal in the making to start an MI2, Murder Inc. 2, at Sony. And there were threats made. Tommy Mottola was so scared that he was friends with Jeanine Pirro, the Westchester DA at the time, who's now a big spokesperson at Fox News and all. And she had her district attorney investigators actually look into the case because he was in fear that the guys were going to come to the house. And they had the whole story, the Scream Team, Irv Gotti, and everything else. And we confronted him at Tommy Mottola at the at Sony Music. And in his company, he had former police commissioner Howard Safer, a retired former head of New York office for ATF. And we ended up getting into a brawl in the office. They were denying that they ever made any outreach. And then we exposed the fact that Jeanine Pirro's investigators and a retired U.S. Marshal that worked for Mottola actually visited the U.S. Attorney's Office with their fears and that we should start a case against Murder Inc. Records. So it ended poorly. I mean, bad. Like, if it could have went to fisticuffs. It was the tension of, it was myself, a U.S. Attorney, Carolyn Courtney, and a task force officer from DEA Long Island, Fidel Balan. And we walked out of there like we were shocked that we'd be treated so poorly. And also, I don't know, you might want to look into this incident. Right around this time, Irv Gotti, Michael Jackson, and the Reverend Al Sharpton hold a rally in public calling Tommy Mottola a racist and demand that he give back, like, Michael Jackson's publishing on something and everything else.
I remember that, yeah.
So think about Irv Gotti doing all these things. He's somewhat involved in the shooting of 50 Cent by his association with Supreme. He's threatening Craig Kellman, Tommy Mottola, and who else?
Well, hold on. Saying I'm not going to do business with you if you do business with this guy is not really threatening. This is business. He's not saying I'm going to hurt you if you do this. You could say that. You could say, hey, listen, if you work with this guy, I won't work with you. That's totally legal.
Yeah, okay. But where I'm from, it's a threat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
right. Fair enough.
Do this and we'll destroy your career too. Do this and we'll make sure nobody gives you business or whatever. Anyway, why? Why bother? You know what I mean? So this is this continuing effort to keep 50 down. And, what is Irv Gotti doing with Reverend Al and Michael Jackson? And I know at one point Irv Gotti went out to like Neverland or something. I don't know what was going on. I think they had a possible collaboration going at some point. But it was just like a bizarre set of things going on that I thought were really, it was short-sighted on Irv's part that he was riding so high and he was going to ride high forever. And he made a lot of enemies,